Hello guys, my name is Deeick and I'm content creator on Cameroon Tech News. Today on this edition of Behind the Screen, we are meeting one of the biggest guys, one of the big devs in Silicon Mountain. I don't have the honor to introduce him, so I'm going to give him the floor to introduce himself. Hello.
Hello, Nadesh.
Please, could you tell us who you are?
I go by the name Derick Alangi. I'm a software engineer at Wikimedia Foundation, the entity that powers Wikipedia, which is the biggest content knowledge platform on the internet right now. And I work there as a software engineer while trying to develop my community under the capacity of a community manager at the GDG Boya.
You heard it for yourself. So, Derick is one of the persons who has gone through a health crisis, one of the developers that I know, and it is very necessary for developers to take care of their health. So today we are bringing him to talk about his crisis and how he was able to overcome it. So sit tight and listen to him as he guides us through his experience. So Derick, today we are talking about developers and health. Yes, I've come across some developers who are either going through one or two things and it takes them a lot of time to recover. So I would love to know the reasons why these developers go through this health crisis.
Yeah, first of all, we live in an economy where survival is a huge problem. And tech is a domain that when you get immersed in the zone to learn, you pretty much forget about yourself. You get so trapped into the zone that you forget that the real world exists. And it's like a drug. You just don't want to get out. And because of this, people spend days and days forgetting to eat properly, forgetting to sleep. They are depriving themselves of basic necessities. And because of that, after a while, your system will definitely crash because you run out of energy, you are sleep deprived, you suffer from insomnia, you run out of food nutrients and all that. And your body lacks the basic nutrients to live. So because of that, the body starts failing. So this is a system and it needs nourishing. And when you don't nourish it over a period of time, it breaks. And that is the real reason. So the nature of the tech industry is such that when you start working in the morning, before you want to realize it, it's night and you can't go out to get food. Maybe you lost your appetite. Then the next day it goes on and on and on. And because of that cycle, people start facing, issues with their health. They have migraines, they have gastritis, they have intestinal problems, they have headaches. So that's the real problem. And it takes time, and the body doesn't respond to these things immediately. So those diseases will take time to build in your system. And when your health breaks at once, it takes a lot of time to recover because it took a lot of time to break. So I think that is the real reason why a lot of developers are getting into health crisis. So they get into the zone, they get trapped in tech so much so that they forget that there is a real aspect of life to take care of. And because of that, they crash and burn.
Wow, that's beautiful. I would like to come on a personal basis.
Yeah.
Could you share your experience with us on the health crisis you went through?
Of course. When I was in high school, that was 2010. I was struggling like a regular kid, doing my, go to school at 7 a.m. in the morning, read my books. After that, I enrolled in the University of Boya to study computer engineering there. And it was fun, really. It was a cool program to go through. I was surrounded by a lot of friends that were doing cool stuff, contributing code to open source organizations. So I was highly motivated. And I was really driven to build upon myself as an engineer. And because of that, I made a lot of sacrifices, like what I just talked about. No food, no sleep, you're just walk all the time. And when I graduated in 2016, that was after 4 years, the 5th year, I was diagnosed of chronic gastritis. And that was pretty much because I wasn't eating as much as I should. And I wasn't sleeping. So this gastritis came with chronic insomnia as well. So this broke my system so much so that I had to stay off my computer for a very long time, for about 2 years of not doing any intensive work. And due to the gastritis, it opened doorways for so many other problems, because when you have gastric ulcers, for example, you don't eat well, you don't eat specific foods because they are hard, you need to chew them and all that, so you become very selective. So because of that, I had to change my entire diet, I had to change so many things, which, yeah, it was a good learning experience, but the cause of that was basically because I did not take care of myself while I was in tech.
What did you do to turn the story around? Because I see you today, you're living healthy and some habits have changed. So how were you able to do that?
Yeah, the first thing people need to admit is that drowning yourself in tech can be a serious problem to your health. You need to admit it's the nature of a job, and you need to be aware. So the first thing I admitted was that I am the cause of my problem, because I did not take care of myself while trying to build upon myself as a software engineer. So I was aware of that problem, and because of that, I started reading a lot online on how I can live healthy, the kind of things I can do. This even made me to go to the village and meet my grandmom at a time, to ask her the secret of life, how to live long and all that. Her advice to me was, Derick, you need to eat things that are close to nature. So avoid canned foods, avoid junk, avoid processed things, go more for fruits, go for vegetables, and exercise, because we need to be mobile, we need to walk. As developers, we sit a lot, we become inactive. There is the problem of circulation in the body, which is a problem. So I started, first thing, I was aware of the problem. I accepted that it is a problem, and then I started finding ways to fix that problem. So I'm going to give 3 approaches. The first thing is I adopted a Japanese water therapy, which was to take half a liter of water every morning and drink a glass of water 2 hours after each meal. So that was one thing. And then I started living on anything that is rich in probiotics and fiber. And then the third thing that I adopted was drinking daily honey in lukewarm water. And coupled with some medications and plants and herbs that I took at the time, made me to recover. And once I recovered, I stayed there. I don't want to go back to my old habits, because I know what will happen after that.
Okay. Thank you, guys. Derick has actually written a book about his health issue and he's advising other developers. So I want him to talk about the book and how we can get it.
Yeah, this book was inspired by my health crisis in 2017, and since that time I have also seen developers facing similar issues, not the same gastric and all that, but similar health crisis that is linked to their lifestyle in tech. So I published this book in November 2021, that's last year, on Gumroad. So if you go on my Twitter profile, twitter.com/exavita, it's actually on my bio. So you just go there and you place an order, you pay for it, and that's it. So it's pretty much a documentation of the problem, how to go about it, and techniques to stay healthy after your crisis has been resolved.
A lot of advice from him. So thank you very much, Derick, for coming. Stay tuned to Behind the Scenes. We are going to be bringing many developers to your screen so that you can actually understand their journey and your stories can inspire others out there. So thank you. See you. Bye.
Bye.